Welcome to the Friday Night Frenzy. I'm Amy Zimmer, and tonight we are loaded with postseason action. Pat Tinlin, Dave Williams, and Rick Snow all standing by from the field. Some low country teams just one win away from playing for a state title. Meanwhile, Georgia High School Association teams are kicking off round one. We're going to take you straight to Grove Stadium, where a thriller just wrapped up, and our Pat Tinlin was there for all the action. Hey, Pat.
After dominating Region 3 3A, Jenkins earning the right to host the first round here in Savannah. The Warriors welcoming Whitewater to Grove Stadium. The Wildcats coming off the bus from Fayetteville, ready to play spoiler. They jumped out to a 35-22 lead by halftime, sending a shocked Warriors squad to the locker room. Whitewater pushed the lead of 42-22 on the opening drive of the second half, but here come the Warriors. Ryan Scott fighting over the goal line. Ensuing kickoff, a successful onside kick by Josh Woodley leads to a pop pass. Kamari Wright gets to the edge. He's wrangled in, but not brought down. He takes it to the house. Jenkins cuts the deficit to just 6 points. Fourth quarter, now trailing by 9 in the red zone. Demetrius Holloway hits Dominique Johnson over the middle. He races in for the touchdown. Jenkins trailing by just 2 with under 5 to play. And to the senior, Josh Woodley, the captain of the soccer team, completes his second successful onside kick of the game. Jenkins wasting no time converting that into points. Ryan Scott breaks through the hole. Jenkins takes their first lead of the ball game with less than 3 minutes on the clock. The Warriors hang on for the 50-45 win, completing the 20-point second half comeback.
Definitely a nerve-wracking experience. I don't think I've experienced something like this in a long time, so it feels great. Never 2 in one game, never had the opportunity to, but tonight it was spectacular.
Keeping them up, I see them complaining with each other. I say, hey, start, we brothers, we a team. So as long as we keep striving, as long as we together and we play together, ain't nobody can stop us. We the best. We gonna win state.
What a win here at Grove Stadium, one that these Warriors will certainly remember. Amy, back to you.
Congratulations to the Warriors. Thanks, Pat. Meanwhile, another nail-biter in Effingham County. They're opening the postseason at home against Clark Central, riding a 7-game win streak. Rebels setting the tone with defense. That's Duff Davis coming off the corner, keeps going till he registers the sack there. The Effingham Rebels offense comes on the field and turns to Jameer Doe Davis. Nice pickup there deep in the Clark Central territory. Rebels then get on the board there with Jackson Wilhoit banking the field goal attempt off the goal post. That's still good for 3. Move to the second quarter. Effingham trailing 7-6, but about to grab the lead back. Quarterback Tucker Perkins hits Noah Reese, proceeds to dive across the goal line for the touchdown. 13-7 Rebels. Less than 2 minutes left in the first half. Big play from the Effingham defense. John Baker forces Clark Central's quarterback to fumble. How about Baker falling on the ball deep in Gladiator territory? Seconds later, home team adds to their lead. Jannard Albright now at quarterback. Huge hole. Walks in for the touchdown. But it was Clark Atlanta storming all the way back to shock Effingham 34-33. Rebels' impressive season comes to an end with a 9-3 overall record. While the GHSA state playoffs are just beginning, we're now into the second week of the postseason for most South Carolina schools. Last week, Hilton Head High was one of the only Beaufort County public schools to advance. Tonight, they were looking to move one step closer to a state title game as they hosted Wilson at the Nest. That's where we find our Dave Williams with the highlights.
Amy, the Nest is once again home to a playoff game as the host Hilton and Seahawks look to continue to pile up the points. After averaging over 41 points per contest during the regular season, the Seahawks put up 52 in their opening round win in the playoffs last week. As for their opponent, Wilson High School, well, they're returning to Beaufort County after knocking off May River in the opening round last week. And a victory by the Seahawks would be their 10th straight and put them just 2 wins away from a trip to the state championship game. And it looked like that high-powered Hilton Head offense would strike first after Derek Ranishevsky finds Jeremiah Walters inside the Wilson 5-yard line. But the Tiger defense would come up big, forcing the Seahawk fumble as Jabril Crawford Thomas gets the recovery and run back. Wilson will then capitalize just a few plays later as Tristan Howard goes up top to Taylor Brand, and he's touchdown bound. And just like that, Wilson had a 7-0 lead. But the Seahawks would respond. They would line up for a field goal, but instead kicker Bo Sexton throws it to a wide open Jeremiah Walters for the first down. They would cash that in a few plays later as quarterback Derek Ranishevsky calls his own number, and he finds the payoff pasture, and we're tied at 7 apiece. It would stay that way until late in the first half when Ranishevsky finds Jeremiah Walters, and then watch him go to work, making his way to the end zone while employing a nice spin move along the way to give Hilton Head a 14-7 lead. And Hilton Head would go on to win 31-7 to move on to the next round. On Hilton Head Island, Dave Williams, WJCL 22 News.
Seahawks moving on. All right, thanks, Dave. Back in GHSA action, the Benedictine Cadets enter the playoffs as the top seed from Region 1 Quad A. Our Rick Snow is at Memorial Stadium as the Cadets begin their trek toward Atlanta.
Amy, Benedictine begins the second season against East Forsyth, riding a 7-game winning streak. It's been 3 years since the Cadets won a championship, and that long road to Mercedes-Benz Stadium and a possible shot at another title begins now. The Cadets came out fired up and moved the opening kickoff right down the field as Stephen Cannon hits Joshua Washington with a sideline pass, and he fights for a first down. Then Bubba Frazier gets the call, and he takes it in from 22 yards out, and the Cadets would take a quick 7-0 lead, but then the game would settle into a defensive struggle. The Broncos would move up and down the field, but then the BC defense would stiffen as Jaden Houston makes the stop. Just before halftime, though, the Broncos' Brooks Smallwood takes it around end and scores to tie the game 7-7 going to halftime. After the break, Danny Britt's Cadets came out ready for business. East Forsyth with good field position to start the second half, but LaDamian Guyton puts a stop to that thought and the Broncos drive. The Cadets take advantage as Washington gets the toss and scores from 5 yards out as the Cadets take the lead 14-7. Immediately after the kickoff, Michael Williams picks off a Bronco pass and returns it for a touchdown, but most of that return would be wiped out by a penalty. Then Cannon finds Eron Mallard, who races for a 39-yard touchdown as the Cadets go up 21-7, and they run away to a 42-7 victory for their 8th win in a row, and will now host Cass High School next week. From Memorial Stadium, Rick Snow, WJCL 22 News.
Congratulations to the Cadets. Thanks so much, Rick. To the South Carolina Independent School Association, Bethesda Academy Blazers trying to keep their undefeated season rolling, hosting Greenwood Christian with a spot in the SCISA Class 2A state title game on the line. Talk about setting the tone. I'm talking very first play. Blazers quarterback Jordan Turner spots Luke Larson. He turns on the Jets, breaks outside, tight ropes the sideline. He's in for the touchdown. They go for 2 and get it just like that. Bethesda up 9-0. And the defense matching that same energy. Watch Blazers Braylon Martin, number 1 on your screen, launches in for the hit, rips the ball free, comes up with the takeaway. Blazers fired up and offense back in business. Turner turns it into points. Jeffrey Armstrong on the sweep, races all the way inside the 5, dragged down just shy of the goal line. No problem. Next snap, Turner keeps it himself. Strolls in with one hand on the ball. 2-point conversion good, 16-0 Blazers. Bethesda Academy cruises 32-14, punching their ticket back to the SCISA 2A state championship game for the 3rd straight year. So Bethesda is in, but who else can join them on championship weekend? Well, Hilton Head Prep looking to earn their spot and set up an all-low-country showdown with the Blazers. That matchup coming up next on the other side of the break. Welcome back to the Friday Night Frenzy playoff edition. Okay, so right before the break, you saw Bethesda Academy clinch its spot in the Skiza 2A state championship game. Now, another local team was fighting to join them. The Hilton Head Prep Dolphins looking to earn their own 2A title shot. But first, they had to battle a tough PD Academy squad tonight. Let's take you there. With home field advantage, PD Academy coming out firing for a quick 7-0 lead. But here comes Hilton Head Prep. They give the rock to Davis Cargill. Look what he does with it. Crashing into the end zone to tie the game at 7 after 1. But as quickly as the Dolphins scored, the Eagles answered. It was Heckman up the middle for his second score of the first half, and Hilton Head Prep would go on to fight to the very end. But it was a heartbreaker, 34-33 loss, eliminating them in the semifinals. Time for the play of the week. We go back to the Nets. Late first half, Hilton Head quarterback Derek Raniszewski finds Jeremiah Walters. He does the rest, making a magnificent run, including a nice spin move on his way to the end zone. He's going to help lead Hilton Head to the 31-7 win. And now for a look at the lineup of the college football games on ABC tomorrow. Coming up prime time, it's at Texas at Georgia for an SEC regular season finale. I'll be in Athens with live reports before and after the game. And that's a wrap on another playoff edition of the Friday Night Frenzy. Still a handful of local squads in the hunt for a state title, setting up another exciting Friday ahead. For our entire Frenzy crew, I'm Amy Zimmer. Have a great night.